Hi, I'm Ray, ChubbyRay Comics. I don't buy single issues. I buy trade paperbacks. I buy omnibuses. I love them. I love talking about them. And I love Batman. In fact, I love James Tynion's Batman. Tynion's one of my favorite authors ever of Batman, who I think is one of the greatest characters of all time. The James Tynion Batman Omnibus Volume 1 was sensational. If you didn't read it, I highly, highly recommend it. I just want to show you what you missed if you haven't read it, and to make sure you're ready for Volume 2, which comes out this week. This is a sensational omnibus that James Tynion wrote. It starts with Pennyworth RIP, which is a great story about the whole Bat family celebrating Alfred Pennyworth in their own way, by each having their own memories of what Alfred Pennyworth meant to them. Now, the only bad thing about this was the time where Dick Grayson was Rick Grayson because of what happened to Grayson in the earlier Batman runs. This had the Pennyworth RIP story, which was sensational. It's a really, really great story. It's hard to not tear up when you read this story. It was really great. It's also got the origin of Punchline. This omnibus also had a lot of Joker material. Remember, Tynion wrote a Joker series. This also includes what I think is one of the best Batman stories ever, their Dark Designs. Which is a sensational story. It gets better as it goes on, and it's just got so many twists and turns and so many great villains. Tynion really got Batman. And more importantly, he really got Gotham City and just the weirdness and the unique parts of Gotham City that city contained and nowhere else seemed to have. Tynion really got that. He also really got Catwoman. He understood the Joker, he understood Penguin, he understood the Riddler. I mean, he really understood the villains, and he wrote them sensationally in his omnibus. Volume 1 of James Tynion's Batman also included Harley Quinn like you've never seen her before. I thought Harley Quinn's portrayal was fantastic in this omnibus. And he created people. Of course, we got to see the designer. And Tynion introduced us to some new Batman characters that will forever be in my mind. The Underbroker. The Underbroker is an awesome character, underrated. The Underbroker was very cool. Tynion introduced him to us. He introduced us to Punchline, who was all over this omnibus. We got to see all the twists and turns of their Dark Designs. Then we got the Joker War, which really was... Joker War was a Joker masterclass by James Tynion. The Joker's such a strange, provocative, yet he's a villain you just can't take your eyes off of. He's so weird. We were introduced to Clownhunter, who's very cool. We saw Clownhunter introduced and developed. We saw Punchline introduced and developed. We saw Poison Ivy during Tynion's run, who had great appearances. By the way, the Joker War is a fantastic Batman story. Or should I say it's a fantastic Batman and Joker story. In Tynion's run, we also got to see Grifter. Grifter was one of my favorite characters of Wildcats. I love to see Grifter still being around, and I love the role he plays in this. He's Lucius Fox's bodyguard, and he really played a great role in Tynion's Batman run. And then after Joker War, we got to meet who might have been the coolest character we met during James Tynion's run, which was Ghostmaker. Ghostmaker, very cool. He's introduced in the Ghost Stories arc, which is really fantastic. We got to learn of Bruce Wayne's relationship to Ghostmaker, how they know each other, what they are, and who they are to be. I thought Ghost Stories was a phenomenal story. We saw Batman decide that Ghostmaker needed his own Robin-like character, and then he chose who should be that character, which was a really interesting twist. Ghost Stories is a great story arc inside Tynion's Batman Volume 1. I really, really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it for everybody. Also in Volume 1, we saw the whole Ghostmaker story. We saw Clownhunter story. We saw more of the Punchline story. We saw more of Joker's story. Volume 1 gave us a full-fledged first look at what Tynion had in mind for Batman and the Bat family and Bat villains. But I'm ready for Volume 2. Volume 2 is going to be sensational. Volume 2 is going to have what I think was one of the best stories of Tynion's whole run, which was Cowardly Lot. I think the Cowardly Lot is fantastic. It's got to do with the tech billionaire trying to sell his Peacekeeper technology to Gotham City. A very cool storyline that also includes Scarecrow. We'll meet Miracle Molly, during this second volume of Tynion's Batman. We will see more of the heroes introduced in the first volume. We will see more of Poison Ivy's story, which I think is great. Plus, we're going to see a ton of Nightwing and the Bat family. We're just going to see a ton of great Jorge Jiménez art. I think Jorge Jiménez might be the most brilliant artist working today, and this whole second volume is just going to be nothing but Jorge Jiménez art. I am really looking forward to it. Then, after the Cowardly Lot, we're going to see Tynion's great Fear State story, which is fantastic. This is the whole story with the Peacekeeper and the people of Gotham's fear that's been revved up by billionaires trying to make money from the city. We'll see how the Bat family is going to combat that. I think Fear State is a great, great story. I'm really looking forward to reading it again. Plus, you're going to see more evolved Ghostmaker doing all kinds of cool things. We'll see Batman putting all the parts together and ready to come into big showdowns with all kinds of people. And we're going to see the Bat family decide that it's time they step up and do what it takes to make this whole Fear State go away. Plus, we're going to get Tynion's stories from Batman's Secret Files. We'll find out about Peacekeeper. If you don't know who Peacekeeper is, you will find out his origin. You'll see Secret Files origin of Miracle Molly. We'll get Fear State Alpha, Fear State Omega. We'll wrap up his Joker run. James Tynion's Batman, I think, is some of the best Batman we've ever seen. I really enjoyed it. I loved Volume 1, and I am so looking forward to Volume 2. It comes out this week on Omnibus. Batman by James Tynion Omnibus Volume 2. If you're like me and you have Volume 1 and you're anxious for Volume 2, it's going to be great to have this entire run, because I think Tynion did some masterful writing on Batman. I love it. I love it. And I'm not afraid to shout it from the rooftops. You must own these omnibuses. Volume 2 comes out this week. I love James Tynion Batman. I know I'm not the only person that says it, but if you're not one of the people that says it, it just means you haven't read enough. So go out and read it. Do yourself a favor. The Tynion Batman run is great on paperback. That first omnibus was fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to Volume 2, which comes out this week. Anyway, I'm ChubbyRay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I invite you to come back and watch the next one. Remember, I try to put out content every single day. Become a member if you want to get your content early. And check out my live streams. I do them several times a week. And of course, super thanks are always appreciated. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next video.